Hi, my name is Catherine Wolf, Catherine V. Wolf, author of The Drum Tree, which will be published by Kohler Books, released on February 24th, 2026. The Drum Tree is special to my heart. It's a story that I wrote about the planet. It's an eco fantasy novel set in what I call an Earth equivalent world. Um, and I'm publishing the book because I want to reach out and connect to people who might feel connected to this story. It's really about that. It's really about connecting to people. And I just wanted to read a few parts of it. Today I'm going to read actually the first couple pages of chapter 3. When the main or one of the main characters Dalen, we see him in the forest for the first time, and the forest and the trees are, and the characters are central to the story of the drum tree, as you might imagine. All right, so this is the beginning of chapter 3. Dalen skipped his afternoon classes and slipped into the woods for a short respite before heading home. His pants were wet from sitting on the soft, spongy moss at the edge of the little stream where he liked to go. The cool water felt pleasant in the heat of this summer afternoon. The water flowed through the forest almost 20 feet into the trees near the schoolyard at the south edge of town. He came to this spot often where he could be alone yet still hear the shouts of the school children when they came out in the afternoon to play games. Even with the schoolyard so near, Dalen was always alone in the forest. After finishing carving a small wooden owl, Dalen let his feet dangle in the flow of the stream. Absent-mindedly, he started building a tiny townscape in the stream bank where the earth had fallen to form a miniature cliff. He poked shallow holes into the exposed soil and placed pebbles in each one to represent houses, stables, and grain bins. With a sharp stone, he scoured the exposed roots of the hawthorn tree that crowded the top of the stream bank. The roots became elaborate staircases that connected the alcoves of the cliff town. Like the whale carving that Dalen had made for trade, this town was a model out of Gabe's stories. Dalen never got to visit any of the places Gabe talked about, but he imagined them vividly as the stories unfolded. His favorites were the adventures of the folks who lived in Clifftown, a village downriver where the houses were built high into the stone cliffs the river had carved as it flowed seaward. Dalen was fascinated by a place so different than the floodplain village of Deep Knoll. Admiring his miniature town in the stream bank, an image suddenly came to him of a place where houses stood free, spanning upward like cliff homes, but away from the hillside. A town that rose toward the sky instead of sprawling across the land. Like drawings in a storybook, he pictured other kinds of places where people might live: underwater houses, sky towns, and star cities. He saw them all, but one kept coming back to him, like a wisp of a memory or a dream slipping away. It was there, just out of reach. Dalen couldn't quite latch onto it. He thought of high towers, and it made him feel itchy inside. His stomach clenched. With thoughts leading his hands, he arranged stones in staggered towers on a flat rock midstream. After he had built 5 or 6 towers, he sat back on his heels to admire how they stood there, free and strong. The vision of the high towers hit him again, a cliff town without a cliff. He built a taller tower this time, searching the stream bed for stones that were flat and wide and clean of moss or algae. One by one, he placed each stone, lifting them until they seemed to slide into each other and become one. Ah, he thought, I am master tower builder. Dalen imagined his brave tower standing firm through all the dry months of summer and toppling only with the fall rains or the freeze and shift of the stream in winter. Star tower of summer, and I am its master. As he reached out to place the smallest stone at the top, uneasiness swelled, taking his breath. He saw pictures in his mind that seemed so real he could almost walk right into them and be in another place, a strange and frightening place, so different from his soothing forest. The air was murky and smelled of cold, dead fires. All around him the land shrank and died, pressed down by huge square stones built high. Large boxes raced across the land, gleaming like horse carts. Sorry. They sent chimney smoke curling up into a hazy sky. Everywhere he looked, crops withered and trees fell, the forests disappeared, rivers dried up. The wild Iris River that flowed through his very town of Dietmar was a dry bed of rocks and sand. At the distant end of the dry river bed, the huge bowl of ocean boiled and spewed poisonous water that stung and burned when it rained to earth. No! Dalen cried out. His hand jerked back, knocking over this tower of smooth river stones. Water splashed onto his hands and his face, but it was cool and clean and did not burn him. As the images faded to wisp in his mind, he heard the drum beat, faint but steady. It was the sound he woke to every morning from his dream-filled nights. Now it seemed the dreams were invading his days. Water beaded on his rough palms and cracked knuckles. Real skin, real water. The dream drummed its way to silence once again. Oh, so that's just a little tidbit, a little excerpt of the drum tree. Um, I will read more at other times. Anyway, again, I'm Catherine Wolf, Catherine B. Wolf, and that was chapter 3 of the first couple pages of the drum tree. Bye.